वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरे कृष्णा। Okay, we'll continue our journey. Till 18 we finished, and remaining slokas. Total 44 are there. Many slokas just, it's not a philosophical slokas, these are all. They are just describing the various limbs. Now we came to know that this yogi has to meditate on Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that means he is half closing the eyes and he is focusing his concentration on the tip of his nose and is trying to see the form of the Lord. And that form of the Lord is being described here. And that description yesterday we have seen. And that form of the Lord, he is not going to see at a time everything, but he will be seeing the form of the Lord gradually from the lotus feet to till his face, lotus face. So that gradual process, gradually, so seeing the form of the Lord from his feet is being explained in the coming slokas. So that's why it is just how the Lord's lotus feet is looking and so on. So everything is being explained here, and we'll read the slokas and so Prabhupada's translations. So nothing twisting commentary is there here. Just some points from Prabhupada purports we should try to. Purports are only big actually. Commentary is nothing. So that's why we'll focus on purports. So more we'll focus on the purports. We'll try to read all the lines of purport and finish. And if anything is needed explanation, so we'll do that. Otherwise, just keep on going. And also much is not easy. Anything is not there from based upon this chapter in the Sandarbhas also. So generally we see anything is, any section of this is covered in the Sandarbhas. Generally we focus that, but that is not there in the next chapter, but it is there. Next chapter is very important chapter, and it is having the many important insights into that. Of course, every chapter is important, but it is philosophically not having the much weight in this. Okay. So we'll start. One second. So 19 sloka. 19 only. Stitam rajantamasīnam shayyanam vaguhashayam prekshaniye hitam dhyayet shuddha bhavena cetasa. Translation. Thus, always merged in devotional service, the yogi visualizes the Lord standing, moving, lying down, or sitting within him. For the pastimes of the Supreme Lord are always beautiful and attractive. So, till 18, what we have seen, just how this chapter is started. You remember, this chapter is mainly focusing on the Bhakti Mishra Yoga. Okay, yoga. So, yoga process is having all the time 8 limbs. So that's why in this yoga process, third and fourth slokas, we are seeing description of various yama niyamas. So what are the do's and don'ts? Then after that, we have seen this. So chapter here it is discussed using the pranayama. First jitasana. So by conquering the asan, and after that pranayam. By doing pranayam, what will happen? Pranayam and also controlling mind. So then after that dhyan, dharana, then dhyan. So these steps are there, it is said, and also these steps are one by one is also explained. So first of all, what? Asana. So one should sit in a asana. What kind of asana you should sit? It is said in this 8th sloka. Very pure place, and you should select that should be secluded. And Rijukaya, how he has to sit? He has to sit very straightly, and also how he has to keep his legs. This one leg is on the thigh, an opposite thigh, and similarly, everyone should sit like this in the class also. I expect so that it will be good. So no sleep, full focus. Online students also they can try, no problem. Okay, so that is the way asana is practiced. Then after that asana, one has to do so pranayam. In the pranayam, puraka, kumbhaka, arechaka. They are the 3 kinds of the so things are there, filling the lungs with the air. Then after that, keeping that for some time, and then releasing out. And empty, keep trying to keep that empty some stomach, empty lungs also sometime, and once again doing the reverse. So this is the process we are seeing in the pranayam. In the pranayam, by doing this, what? These 2 nadis are purified. That's it. To pass inhalation, exhalation pass. Ida and Pingala. These 2 paths are purified. So once this purified, then what is going to happen? Mind is becoming pure. By doing the pranayama, mind will become pure, and any mental problems if we have, those also will go. So by doing this pranayama, actually. Yeah. So everyone should do this at least for once in a while in a day, morning time and evening time. It will be helping the our body to be clean actually, and mind. So that once, that means there are people, why they do pranayam? Because mind is always having the contamination. Like body, you need the bathing, like that for mind also. So they use this technique to purify the mind. Of course, in the case of devotees, by chanting holy name, mind will be purified. That is obvious. That's ultimate. But yogis, they do this technique. By using this technique, they try to purify. Then after that mind is purified, then what will be happening? So pratyahar, senses. Purified mind can easily control the senses. So controlling sense will become happy, is easy. Pratyahar. So that is said in the 11th sloka. So once controlled senses are there, then what will be happening? So mind is purified. So by that, so he has to enter into the dharana. So in the dharana stage, what he has to do? He has to keep his attention on the tip of his nose. Sit properly and So on the tip of his nose, he has to put his concentration, half closed eyes, and try to see the form of the Lord. And how that form of the Lord is. So, what is that form of the Lord? Is explained once again. So, Lord's beautiful body is in what color? Neelotphaladala shyamam. And also his eyes are reddish eyes. They are also looking, so the reddish part. The if you see the stomach part of that lotus flower, there will be redness will be there, and that redness, eyes are Lord's eyes are they like that redness. So you'll be seeing in our uh, Vrindavan Mandir also Lord's eyes. They are reddish eyes actually. Yes, reddish eyes inside, reddish color will be there. So like this, and also he's holding the Shankha Chakra, Gada, and Padmam. And also Lord's body is once again is explained. Lasat Pankaja Kinjal Kapita. How what kind of garments he is wearing? So yellow garments, they are that yellowness. You how to understand the yellowness of that garments? That's a filament. If you see in the lotus flower, there are filaments are there, and in that way, that color is the Lord's garments. And next, his Vakshasthal, his chest is decorated with the Srivatsa, that's Srivatsa Rekha, and also that's Kaustubha Mani. And he is wearing the Vaijayanti Mala, and that flowers from the forest, and those flowers are so just they are spreading the aroma, and by that aroma, honey bees they are attracted and trying to so suck the some so makarandam in that, and they're for that they're roaming and making the sound, beautiful sound, and like that Lord's mala, Vaijayanti mala is there, and he is wearing a crown, so golden crown. And Lord is also so Kanjil Gunolasat Sronim, and his lion. So his loin and hips encircled by the girdle, and he's also wearing a necklace, and charming looks, and also gladdened eyes souls between, and souls devotees who hold him. So it is, and also Lord is eternally very beautiful, and he is worshipable by all the inhabitants of every planet. He is ever youthful. What is the age? His age? His age is looking always Kaishora. That means 15 years old young boy. And his face is so fresh, and he's looking like that. And his glories are so magnanimous. They are worth to chant his glories. And also his glories are purifying the entire creation. So such a glories is having, and that kind of Lord has to be meditated. So then next, Stitam Rajantamasi Sayanam Guhashayam. So you may meditate Lord like that. That means Lord may be so lying in the heart, or is just staying, or is sleeping. Anyway, is sitting at any way of in any posture. You can see the Lord in your heart. There's always merged in the devotional service. The yogi visualize the Lord standing, moving, lying down, or sitting within him. Maybe Lord is sitting like this. Our Lord may be standing. Our Lord may be lying. Any position you can. So you can just see Lord in your heart in any one of this posture. Okay. So that is said in this. So purport, the process of meditating on the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within oneself and the process of chanting the glories and fastness of the Lord are the same. The only difference is that hearing and fixing the mind on the pastime of the Lord is easier than visualizing the form of the Lord within one's heart, because as soon as one begins to think of the Lord, especially in this age, the mind becomes disturbed, and due to So much hesitation, the process of seeing the Lord within the mind is interrupted. Here Prabhupada is explaining that in this, hearing and meditating on the Lord are non-different. They are all the limbs of the bhakti. So mind on the fastness of the Lord is easier than the visualizing the form of the Lord. So in our process, we are focused on the chanting the holy names. So that is more easier. The names, Lord's rupa, form, qualities, and also various pastimes. So this is easier than the meditating on the Lord. Yogis, they try to see the form of the Lord. But in the case of the devotees, they are simply focusing on the hearing the glories of the Lord, which is the easiest process actually. And but yogis case and devotees case, what? Devotees and yogis just they see, they try to see the form of the Lord. That means that's a Paramatma in their heart. And there is some only little devotion is there. Compared to Jnanis, yogis are having more devotion. But in the case of the devotees, what is the difference between devotees and the yogis? In the case of the devotees are fully, so always try to serve the Lord. Service to the Lord is the just aim of the devotees. So not that the service means what? Bhaja. Bhakti means what? You'll be seeing in the future in the Bhakti Sandarbha classes also. Bhakti means bhaja, sevayam, that is a dhatu actually. That is a Sarupa Lakshana of the Bhakti. Seva is a Sarupa Lakshana of the Bhakti. So that's why, so serving the Lord is the goal of the devotee. But in the case of the yogis, they try to see the form of the Lord. Service is not their goal actually. So just they try to see the form of the Lord, and that's why they will be getting the mukti only. Sarupya, salokya. So since the form, whatever they are seeing, that kind of form they will be getting. They try to see. So this is the difference between the yogis and the devotees. Devotees seva is important actually. And here seva bhav, that means service attitude, is not the focused thing, primary thing. They may do some little service of this seeing the Lord, but ultimately they will be trying to focus on the form of the Lord and try to see that in their heart. When there is a sound vibrated praising the transcendental pastime of the Lord, however, one is forced to hear. That hearing process enters into the mind and the practice of yoga is automatically performed. In the case of devotion, yoga and jnana, obviously they are included in the process of bhakti. So the bhakti is comprised of jnana and yoga also. In the yoga technique, what we try to meditate on the Lord. So try to see the Lord. That is obviously happening in the case of devotion. And in the case of jnana, what one try to know the Lord. So try to know the supreme truth, and that is also happening. Bhakti yogena manasa samyak pranite emale apashyat. Sorry, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. So Vairagyam Gnanam Chadhaitikum. Gnanam is also is a product of the Bhakti Yoga process. So that's why you will be definitely coming to know. So these are all automatically happening in the process of bhakti. And hearing and derive the benefit of meditation on the pastimes of the Lord simply by listening to a reading from the Bhagavatam that describes the Lord as he is going to the pasturing ground with his cows and friends. So when you hear in the 10th canto, there are so many leelas. Lord is going to pasturing the grounds to graze the cows, pasturing grounds. So, and also Lord is killing the Putana. Whenever you hear this leela, automatically your mind is focused on him. So it is happening automatically. So that's why in the Kali Yuga, what hearing process is recommended. And hearing includes applying the mind. In the age of Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya has recommended that one should always engage in chanting and hearing. So, Bhagavad Gita, the Lord always says that the Mahatmas or great souls always engage in the process of chanting the glories of the Lord, and just by hearing others derive the same benefit. Yo- Yoga necessitates meditation on the transcendental fastness of the Lord. So whether he is standing, moving, lying down, or anyway. So that's why Sukadeva Goswami also says, in many places we have seen hearing is emphasized and chanting is emphasized. Etan nirvidyamananam icchatamakuto bayam yoginam nrupanirnitam harer namanukirtanam. So Sukadeva Goswami is also saying, Etan nirvidyamananam. So even the liberated people, they also, that means that so chanting the holy names is decided for the in the liberated people also. Even for the liberated people also it is decided. Such a way it is said. And many ways it is said. So the Prabhupada is establishing in this purport. Of course, here yoga technique is explained. That means yogi is trying to see the Lord as sitting posture or otherwise in the standing posture or the moving posture anyway. But Prabhupada is writing in his purport that compared to this kind of seeing the Lord, so hearing about the Lord's glories is the easiest process, and also it is recommended for this Kali Yuga. This is the point he's mentioned. From the purport, we should learn this. Okay, next slogan. Tasman labda padam chittam sarva vayava samstitam vilakshaikata ange bhagavato muni. Translation: in fixing his mind on the eternal form of the Lord, the yogi should not take a collective view of all his limbs, but should fix the mind on each individual limb of the Lord. Collectively, you should not see. Directly seeing the entire form is not good. So, what he said? So, limb by limb. So, limb by limb, one should be fix the mind on each individual limb of the Lord. This is the point. Then we'll be seeing from 21 limb by limb. Purport: the word Muni is very significant. Muni means one who is very expert in mental speculation or in thinking, feeling, and willing. He is not mentioned here as a devotee or yogi. So in the sloka, 20th sloka, what is that? Munihi. Munihi vilakshya. So samyujjad ange bhagavataha. You'll be seeing the different, yes, angas of the Lord. He's different from the devotee. Devotee is different from the yogi. Here he is not mentioned. So he is not mentioned here as devotee or yogi. Those who try to meditate on the form of the Lord are called munis, or less intelligent. Whereas those who render actual service to the Lord are called bhakti yogis. The thought process described below is for the education of the Muni, in order to convince the yogi that the absolute truth or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is never impersonal at any time. The following verses prescribe observing the Lord in his personal form, so limb after limb. To think of the Lord as a whole may sometimes be impersonal. Therefore, it is recommended here that one first think of his lotus feet, then his ankles, then the thighs, then the waist, then the chest, then the neck, then the face, and so on. One should begin from the lotus feet and gradually rise to the upper limbs of the transcendental body of the Lord. Even we are also recommended when we do the darshan of the Lord. So we are asked to do first the feet and then after that knees and so on, so ankles, thighs, and so on, so like that. So here one by one we'll be seeing now. Sanchintayed Bhagavatas Charanaravindaam Vajrankushadvaja Saroruhalachanadyam Lanchanadyam. Uttunga Rakta Vilasanna Kachakravala Josna Virahata Mahadruta Dayandakaram Sanchintayed Bhagavatas Charanaravindaam Vajrankushadvaja Saroruhalancanadyam Uttunga Rakta Vilasanna Kachakravala Josna Virahata Mahadrutayandakaram. Translation. The devotee should first concentrate his mind on the Lord's lotus feet, which are adorned with the marks of thunderbolt, a gold, a banner, and a lotus. The splendor of their beautiful ruby nails resembles the orbit of the moon and dispels the thick gloom of one's heart. So, Lord's lotus feet is having. So, if you see, when Lord is walking in the Vraja, so when his footprints are is printed on the earth, so there will be having the total how many signs? 17 signs. Yes, 17, and Radharani is 19. So am I correct? 17 signs. It is described in the actually in the Rasa Panchadhyaya, actually, when Lord is walking. At the time, gopis, so they were seeing the both footprints of male and female. That's a Lord's footprints and also footprints of another female, and both are walking. And after some time, they were seeing only one person. That means what? Only male footprints. That means he lifted her. So like that you'll be seeing the Rasa Panchadhyaya there. It is explained what are the footprints, what are the symbols, where are the various symbols are there on his footprint, and those are explained actually. So I don't remember that much, but you can see maybe in internet. Okay. So Mayavadis say that because one is unable to fix his mind on the impersonal existence of the absolute truth, one can imagine any form he likes and fix his mind on that imaginary form. But such a process is not recommended here. Imagination is always imagination and results only in further imagination. A concrete description of the eternal form of the Lord is given here. The Lord's soul is depicted with distinctive lines resembling a thunderbolt, a flag, the lotus flower, and a gold. The luster of his toenails, which are brilliantly prominent, resembles the light of the moon. If a yogi looks upon the marks of the Lord's soul and on the blazing brilliance of his nails, then he can be freed from the darkness of ignorance in material existence. This liberation is not achieved by mental speculation, but by seeing the light emanating from the lustrous toenails of the law. So, in other words, one has to fix his mind first on the lotus feet of the Lord if he wants to be freed from the darkness of ignorance in material existence. So, Lord's Yatpada Palasa, Yatpada Pankaja Palasa Vilasa. What is that? So, there also it is explained. Lord's, so toe from that nails, from the Lord's toe nails, so that the light is coming, that is dispelling all the this ignorance. That's next text 22. Yashaucha nisruta sarit pravarodakena तीर्थेन मूर्धन्यधिकृतेन शिवः शिवो भूत् ध्यातुर्मनश्यमलशैलनिसृष्टवज्रम् ध्याये चिरं भगवच्चरणारविन्दम् Akshay Hari Prabhu. Translation.
The blessed Lord Shiva becomes all the more blessed by bearing on his head the holy water of Ganges, which has its source in the water that washed the Lord's lotus feet. The Lord's feet act like a thunderbolt hurled to shatter the mountain of sin stored in the mind of the meditating devotee. One should therefore meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for a long time.
Yeah. Recently we discussed this sloka, yes, in Bhakti Sandarbhas. Yashaucha nisruta sarit pravarodakena tirdena murdni adhikrutena shivaha shivo bhut. Shiva became auspicious because of what? Shiva is very auspicious because of what? He got that auspiciousness because he is bearing the what Ganges, which is coming from lotus feet of the Lord, which is the bathing water of lotus feet of the Lord, and that is Ganga. And by wearing that Ganga, Shiva is becoming Shiva. Shiva is becoming Shiva means auspicious. Dhyatur mana shamala shaila nisrushta vajram. So Lord's feet act like a thunderbolt hurled to shatter the mountain of sin stored in the mind of the meditating devotee. So that means this Lord's lotus feet, what? It will destroy the sin of mountain. A mountain of sin, sorry. So that will be completely destroyed. Dhyaye chiram bhagavat charanaravindam. So that's why one has to meditate the lotus feet of the Lord for a long time so that his heart will be purified. By meditating on the Lord's lotus feet, what is the thing is going to happen? Any contamination is there, that will be completely is finished. So in Bhakti Sandarbha, it was quoted this sloka. What is in what context it is quoted? Anyone remember? Huh? Bhakti Sandarbha. That is another. No, that is another. Why I said this? What happened to Puneet? Hmm? He's not there in the room. तदेवं श्री भगवद उक्तेः एव सर्वोर्ध्वं अविधेयत्वं स्थितम्. So this is quoted in the Bhakti Sundarbha in the context of so here it is said in this context, from we should understand that. So Shiva is becoming auspicious because of what? Because of, so Shiva is becoming such auspicious qualities he is gaining because of the bhakti. That means he is wearing the washing water. That means the water which is used to clean or the clean the lotus feet of the Lord. So that water he is wearing, that's why he is becoming Shiva. Because of bhakti only he is becoming Shiva. So bhakti is so magnanimous. That means even a great personalities, they are acquiring those qualities or that thing because of the bhakti. Okay, next in this verse, the position of the Lord is specifically mentioned. The impersonalists suggest that the absolute truth has no form, that one can therefore equally imagine the form of the Vishnu or Lord Shiva or goddess of Durga or other or their son God Ganesha. But actually, the supreme personality of Godhead is the supreme master of everyone. These Mayavadis, they accept the Panchopasana. In Panchopasana, they consider the worshipping of Vishnu, Shiva, Durga, Ganesh, and Surya as same. Anyone you can worship, they are all same. But actually, now Prabhupada is saying that Mayavadis, this concept is not correct. So here we should understand that Shiva is becoming auspicious because of he is wearing the water which is used to, so by the bathing water. So that's why. So he is becoming, so Shiva. His Vishnu is not equal with the Shiva. So that is a point he is mentioning. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, Supreme Master of everyone. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that Ekale Ishvara Krishna Ara Sava Mritya. The Supreme Lord is Krishna and everyone is else, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. So not to mention other demigods, he is a servant of God. Everyone is servant actually. The same principle is described here. The Lord Shiva is important because he is beholding on his head the holy Ganges water, which its origin in the foot wash of the Lord Vishnu. Anyway, next paragraph. Another significant point of this verse is that the mind of the conditioned soul, on account of its association with the material energy from the time immemorial, contains heaps of dirt in the form of desires to lord it over material nature. This dirt is like a mountain, but a mountain can be shattered when hit by a thunderbolt. Meditating on the Lord's lotus feet of like a thunderbolt on mountain of dirt in the mind of the yogi. If yogi wants to shatter the mountain of dirt in his mind, he should concentrate on the lotus feet of the Lord and not imagine something wide or impersonal. This is the thing. If anyone wants to clean their heart, they have to meditate on the form of the Lord. Because the dirt has accumulated like a solid mountain, one must meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for quite a long time. Chiram. So, Bhagavat Charanara Vindam. So, Dhyayet Chiram. One should meditate for a long time because so a lot of dust is there. For one who is accustomed to think of the lotus feet of the Lord constantly, however, it is a different matter. The devotees are so fixed in the lotus feet of the Lord that they don't think of anything else. Thus, who participate in the practice the yoga system, must meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for a long time after following the regulative principles and thereby controlling the senses. So last paragraph, it is especially mentioned here, Bhagavatas Charanaravindam. One has to think of the lotus feet of the Lord. The Mayavadis imagine that one can think of the lotus feet of the Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma or the goddess of Durga to achieve the liberation, but this is not so. So that is the point. And next, the same point is Shiva is becoming auspicious. That is explained. The stress is on this lotus feet of the Lord. So a relationship with the lotus feet of the Lord can even enhance the importance of Lord Shiva. What to speak of other ordinary living entities. Okay. Janudvayam jala jalochanaya jananya Lakshmyakhilस्य suravindataya vidhatu Urvornidhaya karapallavarochishaya Samlalitam hrudi vibhorabhavasya kuryat. Translation: the yogi should fix in his heart the activities of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by all demigods and is the mother of the Supreme Person Brahma. She can always be found massaging the legs and thighs of the Transcendental Lord very carefully, serving him in this way. So knees. Janudvayam jala jalochanaya jananya lakshnya akhilasya suravindataya vidhatuh urvyo nidaya karapallava rochishayat. This today's class will be little sleepy class. Everyone please sleep. It will be like that. Really? Why? So next lotus feet is over, then we should go to the knees. Janudvayam. So the yogi should fix in his heart the activities of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by all demigods. Urvo nidaya karapallava rochisha yat salilam hrudi. So shayanam dhyayed ityuktam ataha shesha paryanke shayanasya viboho janudvayam tatparyantam jangadvayam hrudi kuryat yat kalu akhilasya vidhatur brahmanah jananya lakshmya samvahana chaturyavatah करपल्लवयोः रोचिषा अरुणिम्ना पीतं न च संलालितं शो 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 शोभितीकृतं जलजलोचनया इति तल्लोचनाभ्यां. So we studied previously, yogi is meditating on the Lord, his postures. So how he is, postures actually, how he is positioned, sitting or otherwise moving or lying or otherwise standing. Any in one form, in any one position, you can so you can see any position of the Lord. In any position you can see the Lord. So here, when Lord is lying, then in that case, so what you have to do next? So shayanam dhyayed iti uktam ataha. So even Lord is sleeping. If you thinking that form, then you have to meditate till, so Lord is sleeping on his bed, and his lotus feet is massaged by till knees. So Mother Lakshmi is keep on pressing that's lotus feet. Rochisha Arunimna. And in that position, and she is Mother Lakshmi is the mother of the, even for the all the living entities, even for Brahma. Vidhatuhu Brahmana Jananya. Brahma is the appointed Lord of the universe because his father is the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Lakshmi, the goddess fortune, is automatically his mother. Lakshmi is worshipped by all demigods and by the inhabitants of other planets as well. Human beings are also eager to receive favor from the goddess of fortune. Lakshmi is always engaged in massaging the legs and the thighs of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, who is lying on the ocean of the Garbha within the universe. Brahma is described here as the son of the goddess of fortune, but actually he was not born of her womb. Brahma takes his birth from the abdomen of the Lord himself. A lotus flower grows from the abdomen of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and Brahma is born there. Therefore, Lakshmi massaging of the thighs of the Lord should not be taken as the behavior of any ordinary wife. The Lord is transcendental to the behavior of the ordinary male and female. The word Abhavasya is very significant, for it indicates that he could produce Brahma without the assistance of the goddess of fortune. Abhavasya, that means without female help he can produce. Since transcendental behavior is different from the mundane behavior, it should not be taken that the Lord receives service from his wife just as demigod or human being might receive service from his wife. It is advised here. That means, oh Lord, what kind of hard work he did, and his lotus feet is now needed to be massaged. One should not think like that. And it's like not like mundane. Oh, where did he went? What kind of hard work he did? When why it is need of? So it means Lord is also having pain. Eh? Like in the material world, there is a pain, and why she is doing massage to his lotus feet? And generally when we do massage, when there is a pain. So that means, so she is doing massage of his lotus feet means there is a pain. That means in the spiritual world also there is miseries, pain. Okay, this we should understand. Not. It's entirely different. Okay, next. Uru Suparna Bhujayoradishobhamana Ojo Nidhi Atisika Kusumava Bhasau Vyalambipitāvaravāsasi vartamānā Kanchi Kalāpaparirambhinitambabimbam. Next, the yogi should fix his mind in meditation on the personality of Godhead's thighs, the storehouse of all energy. The Lord's thighs are whitish blue, like the luster of the linseed flower, and appear most graceful when the Lord is carried on the shoulders of Garuda. Also, the yogi should contemplate his rounded hips, which are encircled by girdle that rests on the exquisite yellow silk cloth that extends down to his ankles. Okay. Now, so knees are over, then go on the little bit upside, thighs. These thighs are known as meant for the source of all the energy. Uru Suparna Bhujayo Radi Shobhaya. Suparna means Garuda. So Garuda's these wings are golden wings. And when it is flying, it is making the sound of Samaveda. Vedas are chanted. And that means using that Vedic mantras are coming from his wings actually when it is flying, and that she is glorifying, Garuda is glorifying the Lord's glories. And when he is sitting on that Garuda's shoulders, so these thighs are looking even more beautiful actually. Suparna Bhujayoradi Shobhamana Vojo Nidhi. These thighs are the storehouse of all the energy. Atasika Kusumava Bhasau. What is the meaning of Atisika Kusuma? Yes? So of the linseed flower, Avabhaso, like the luster. That means it's a bluish. Vyalam Vipita Varavasa Sivartamana. So that means after that, his thighs, his hips are round hips, and on that yellow garment, and girdles on that and yellow garment, and it is still the knees, ankles actually. This yellow garment is cloth extends down to his ankles. The personality of Godhead is a reservoir of all the strength, and his strength rests on the thighs of his transcendental body. His whole body is full of opulence, all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. The yogi is advised to meditate upon the transcendental form of the Lord, beginning from the soles of the feet and then gradually rising to knees, to the thighs, and finally arriving at the face. The system of meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead begins from his feet. The description of the transcendental form of the Lord is exactly represented in the Archa Vigraha, the statue in the temples. Generally, the lower part of the body of the statue of the Lord is covered with yellow silk. That is the Vaikuntha dresses, are the dress of Lord wear in the spiritual sky. This cloth extends down to the Lord's ankles. Thus, since the yogi has so many transcendental objectives on which to meditate, there is no reason for his meditating on the same thing imaginary as is the practice of the so-called yogis whose objective is impersonal. Prabhupada is always just condemning impersonal thoughts based upon these purports. Nabi hradam bhuvana kosha guhodarastham yatratma yoni dhishana khila loka padmam vyudham harinmani vrushastanayораmushya ध्यायेद्वयं विशदहारमयूखगौरम्. Vipin Prabhu, Vipin is there. Yes. Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
The yogi should then meditate on his moon-like navel in the center of his abdomen. From his navel, which is the foundation of the entire universe, sprung the lotus stem containing all the different planetary systems. The lotus is the residence of Brahma, the first created being. In the same way, the yogi should concentrate his mind on the Lord's nipples, which resembles a pair of most exquisite emeralds and which appear whitish because of the rays of white milk white pearl necklaces adorning his chest.
Okay. Next we go to thighs are over, and next Nabhi. Nabhi Hradam Bhuvana Kosha Guhodarastham. This Lord's lotus novel is the source for the entire creation. Actually, from that novel only, lotus flower is coming from there only. So Brahmaji is coming, and also so Sukshma and Sthula Virat Purushas both are appearing in that stem of that lotus. That is Sthula Virat is appearing there. So we all discussed this, and that's why his lotus novel is a source, is a center of this. So is a foundation from his novel, which is a foundation of entire universe. So that's like your house, you will be having foundation or not inside foundation. Then after that, you'll be building the house. Same with this entire universe is for entire universe. What is the foundation? His lotus novel is the foundation. So that is. So Vyudam Harinmani Mrushastanayoramusha. What it mean? So the lotus is the residence of Brahma. Harin Mani Urushastanayoramusha. In the same way, the yogi should concentrate his mind on the Lord's Stanayohu Amusha. So Stana means his chest. So Yudam Harin Mani Urusha Stanayor Amusha. So in the same way, the yogi should concentrate his mind on the Lord's nipples, which resemble a pair of most exquisite emeralds and which appear whitish because of the rays of the milk white pearl necklaces adorning his chest. So his chest nipples are looking like white, and because there are so many necklaces are there on his neck. So that means lotus novel and nipples both are explained here. Chest. The yogi is advised next to meditate upon the novel of the Lord, which is the foundation of all material creation, just as a child is connected to his mother. Okay, next paragraph. It is explained in the Brahma Samhita that each limb of the Lord has the potency of every other limb, because everything is spiritual. His parts are not conditioned. The Lord can see with his ears. Lord, the material ear can hear but cannot see. But we understand from the Brahma Samhita that Lord can also see his ears and hear with his eyes. Yes. Sakalendriya Vrittimanti. Yasyani Anga Sakalendriya Vrittimanti. all his senses are having all the functions of the other senses. So that is the beauty of the Lord's senses. Next. Vakshodivasamruषभस्य महाविभूते पुंसां मनोनयन निर्वृतिमादधानम् कंठं च कौस्तुभमणेरधिभूषणार्थम् कुर्यान्मनस्य किल लोकनमस्कृतस्य. राधा गोवर्धन प्रभु.
The yogi should then meditate on the chest of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the abode of Goddess Mahalakshmi. The Lord's chest is the source of all transcendental pleasure for the mind and full satisfaction for the eyes. The yogi should then imprint on his mind the neck of the Personality of Godhead, who is adored by the entire universe. The neck of the Lord serves to enhance the beauty of the Kaustubh gem, which hangs on his chest.
So now next, so here what limbs we are seeing? Chest and neck, vakshaha and also kantham cha. Kantha is so beautiful and it is giving the increasing the beauty of Kaustubha Mani also. So yogi has to meditate on that. Okay. In the Upanishads, it is said that various energies of the Lord are working to create, destroy, and maintain. These inconceivable varieties of the energy are stored in the bosom of the Lord. As people generally say, God is all powerful. The prowess is represented by Mahalakshmi, the reservoir of all energies, who is situated on the bosom of the transcendental form of the Lord. The yogi who can meditate perfectly on that spot on the transcendental form of the Lord can derive many material powers which comprise the 8 perfections of the yoga system. Next. बाहुंश्च मन्दिरगिरेः परिवर्तनेन निर्निक्तबाहुवलयानधिलोकपालान् संचिन्तये दशशतारमसह्यतेज शङ्खं च तत्करसरोरुहः शङ्खं च तत्करसरोरुह राजहंसम्. Who is there? Amok Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I have this Hindi book.
Hindi?
Yeah.
Okay. Jai Gopinath Prabhu. Jai Gopinath Prabhu is not there. Sonali Mataji. There are
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
The yogi should further meditate upon the Lord's 4 arms, which are the source of all powers of the demigods, who control the various functions of the material nature. Then the yogi should concentrate on the polished ornaments which were burnished by Mount Mandara as it revolved. He should also duly contemplate the Lord's disk, the Sudarshan Chakra, which contains 1,000 spokes and a dazzling luster, as well as the conch, which looks like a swan in his lotus-like palm.
Okay, thank you. So next, what on what limbs we should meditate? Next is said here. What are limbs? Forearms, and also they are decorated with the many ornaments. Should concentrate on the polished ornaments which were burnished by Mount Mandara as it revolved. He should also duly contemplate the Lord's discs, the Sudarshana Chakra disc, which contains 1,000 spokes and dazzling luster, and 4 hands, and also the various weapons he is carrying, and also various objects he is carrying, conch, and also swan, sorry, lotus, and also his, which looks like a swan. This conch is so white, so it looks like a so beautiful whiteness. Swans are so white, in this conch is also is like that. So this is the meditation actually. Yogi should meditate on this purport. All department of law and order emanate from arms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The law and order of the universe is directed by different demigods, and it is here said to emanate from the Lord's arms. Mandara Hills is mentioned here because when the ocean was churned by the demons on one side and the demigods on another, Mandara Hill was taken as the churning rod. The Lord in his tortoise incarnation became the pure for the churning rod, and thus his ornaments were polished by the churning of Mandara Hills. His ornaments are polished by the Mandara Hill. Wow. Burnished is charna, charnished. So that is the thing. So are polished by turning of Mandara. In other words, the ornaments on the arms of the Lord are as brilliant, as lustrous as if they had been polished very recently. That means they are fresh. There is no mala actually. Clearly they are looking. I'll make a question here. How many? Lord's ornaments are burnished by Mount Mandara. Describe this sentence based upon Srila Prabhupada's purport. Explain or elaborate this sentence. Describe, elaborate, you can say, elaborate. So you should write the story. That means his ornaments are polished or burnished, means they are so shining like new, brand new. So how they shine like that? Because Mount Mandara, you can take two ways of meaning here. They are because of the Mandara, so they polished, you can take like this. So when the churning is done, so this Kurma is becoming the tortoise, is becoming the base for that Mandara hill. So at that time, these ornaments also are rubbed, actually polished. So that's why they are shining. That is the one meaning. Another meaning is they are shining like the Mount Mandara. Another two meanings is given. In other words, ornaments on the arms of the Lord are as brilliant, as lustrous as if they had been polished very recently. Not two meanings. That's you should explain that total. Two. Elaborate. Little 10 marks. कौमुदकीं भगवतो दयितां स्मरेता दिग्धामर दिग्धामर दिग्धामरातिभटशोणितकर्दमेन मालां मधुव्रतवरुधगिरोपघुष्टाम् चैत्यस्य तत्त्वममलं मणिमस्य कंठे Who is there? Who is there? Everyone is over. Okay.
The yogi should meditate upon his club, which is named Kaumodaki and is very dear to him. This club smashes the demons who are always inimical soldiers and is smeared with their blood. One should also concentrate on the nice garland on the neck of the Lord, which is always surrounded by bumblebees, with their nice buzzing sound. And one should meditate upon the pearl necklace on the Lord's neck, which is considered to represent the pure living entities who are always engaged in his service.
Okay. So what is our object of the meditation here? Lord's club, Kaumodaki, next. Garland, Vaijayanti, next. Necklace. This. Kaumodaki Bhagavato Dayitam Smareta. That is one. One should Kaumodaki. Next. Digdamarati Bhatashonita Kardamena. Digda means what? Smeared of smeared with what? Blood of the soldiers of enemies. This club who is smeared with this blood? No, which is smeared? Club. Okay. So club's name is Kaumodaki. Kaumodaki club. This Kaumodaki club is smeared with the blood of soldiers of enemies. that blood still it is there. Okay. And Mala Madhurata Varuda Giropa Ghushtam. And next what? Mala. Vaijayanti Mala. Mala, Vaijayanti Mala is said, or necklace he is said. Here Mala means garland. Madhuvrata. That means of bumblebees. Varutha, of a swarm gira with the sound. This Vaijayanti Mala, and it is surrounded by bumblebees. Next also, Manimasya Kante, on his neck, Manimasya. Manima means pearl necklace. This is the third thing. So these are the third thing, three things. List out various limbs of the Lord should be meditated. List out the limbs of the Lord mentioned in this chapter. So as objects of meditation. List out the various objects of the Lord. Limbs you first, right? List out the various limbs of the Lord and mentioned in this chapter as objects of meditation. Okay, limbs you'll be writing, and also you'll be writing list out various objects of the Lord which are meant for meditation. Objects means what should write? Club, this Vaijayanti Mala. Is another question, second question. Sudarshan, all these. Yeah. These are different malas is mentioned, those all you should. Marks. First one is 2 marks, second one is, first one is 3 marks, second one is 1 mark. Only list out what you are going to do. We are not asking the description is given. Now here you see club is given, but how club is described here? Club which is smeared with the blood of the soldiers of the enemies. You don't need to write. You just write club, Kaumodiki. That's all. At least you should know all these weapons and also various other limbs, how they look. I am not asking to describe that. Lord's thighs are said there. How the thighs are described there? Thighs, which are the source of all the energy. And his lotus navel is mentioned. How it is mentioned? His lotus navel is a foundation for entire material universe. His lotus feet is mentioned. How it is mentioned? How it is described there? Lotus feet is so magnanimous. It is so by meditating the lotus feet of the Lord for a long time, the sin in the heart is shattered. Even the Shiva is becoming the auspicious because the water, bathing water coming from his lotus feet, which is known as Ganga, he is wearing that Ganga on his head. That's why he is becoming Shiva. So like this, every object, his knees are explained. How those are all from knees to this whole Janga. This. So from the knees to down. So his legs are massaged by the Lakshmi, who is mother of Brahma. And his nipples, how they are looking nipples? Nipple like emeralds. And his neck, how his neck? That neck is so beautiful, even it is increasing the beauty of Kaustubha Mani. So beautiful. So like this, you should remember it. If we don't remember the Lord's form, what is the use? What is the very important chapter or not? You should write. What is any difficulty in this? Very simple, all. This is the Lord's beauty, actually. Okay. Anyway, we have a lot of time. So we'll make one dash, fill in the blanks on these. Write the fill in the blanks. थोड़ा मजा आएगा अभी. We'll become active now. So Lord's Club is known as dash. Lord's Club is known as dash. Okay, that is. Oh, you know answer everyone. This is Kaumodiki. Okay, next. No marks. You leave just. So fill in the blanks. Write it. Just for the Lord's Club is over. We'll come from the lotus feet, first of all. So lotus feet. Shiva is becoming auspicious because of wearing dash. Wearing the Ganges, which is the bathing water of the Lord's lotus feet. Next question. Okay, typed. Next question. Lord's lotus feet should be meditated for a long time. Why? What is the answer? It shatters the mountain of the sin accumulated in the life after life from the beginningless. Okay, this. Because of it shatters the sin accumulated in the life after life from beginningless. Next. Okay. Lord, Logi should meditate, Lord, in various, what is it? Posture, what we say? Postures, position, what we say? Posture. Various postures. What are the various postures of the Lord? So, which can be objects of meditation for yogi. What is that? Sitting, lying, standing, moving. Okay, next. Uh, why Mother Lakshmi is why Lakshmi is mother of the Brahmaji? Why? You know answer. Because Vishnu is Pitaji. That's why she is. You should write. Because Vishnu is father. That's and Lord's nipples looks like dash. How they looks like? Pearls. Emeralds. 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 What is that? Emerald. L silent. Emerald. Spelling E-M. Emerald. Emerald. Emeralds. Emeralds. Stone. Stone. Yes. Yes. So what is the foundation of dash is the foundation of the entire material universe? Lord's novel. Next. The Lord's ornaments are polished by dash. Or polished by what? Mandara Mountain. Manimasya Kante. Manimasya Kante. Okay. Okay, we'll go to next sloka. These bits are very easy actually. Yes, is essence of all these slokas. And also it's easy to remember also. Yes. What is that? What sloka we should read? 29. Is sloka is recitation is over? Brutyanukampita dhiyeha gruheta murteh sanchintayed bhagavato vadanaravindaam yadvispuran makarakundalavil valgitena Vidyotitamalakapolamudharanasam. Sarveshwar Prabhu.
The yogi should then meditate on the lotus-like countenance of the Lord, who presents his different forms in this world out of compassion for the anxious devotees.
His nose is prominent, and his crystal clear cheeks are illuminated by the oscillation of his glittering alligator shaped earrings.
So now, which ornament? Which ornaments are the objects of meditation? Bhrutyanu dhiyeha gruhita murt. And tell me Sanskrit also. Now we come to the face. Vadanara vindam. Lotus-like countenance of the Lord. Countenance means what? Who presents his different. Okay, countenance means mukha. Vadanara vindam means facial expressions. Yes. Now here face, we come to the face. Yad vispuran makara kundala. That means he's having the earrings. What shape they are? Fish. Huh? Makara means what? Oh, crocodile. Huh? Crocodile, sorry, crocodile. Crocodile. These earrings are looking like crocodiles. Makara kundala valgitena vidyadotita vidyotitamala kapola mudaranas. So when they are oscillations mean going front and back. So, and because of this, what is happening? Kundala earrings valgitena, by the oscillations, vidyot illuminated, amala crystal clear, kapolam, his cheeks are so much shining. His cheeks are shining because of these oscillations of these makara kundalas. That is the beauty. Lord descends to the material world out of his deep compassion for his devotees. There are two reasons of the Lord's appearance or incarnations in the material world. Whenever there is a discrepancy in the discharge of the religious principles and there is a prominence of religion, the Lord descends for the protection of the devotees and the destruction of the non-devotees. When he appears, his main purpose is to give solace to his devotees. He doesn't have to come himself to destroy the demons, for he has many agents. Even the external energy Maya has sufficient strength to kill them. But when he comes to show compassion to his devotees, he kills the non-devotees as a matter of course. The Lord appears in the particular form loved by the particular type of devotee. There are million of forms of the Lord, but they are one absolute, as stated in the Brahma Samhita. So Prabhupada is saying that Lord is coming to this material universe, so as wished by the many devotees, so that many devotees means thousands and millions of devotees are there, and Lord is also having that many forms. So as they wish, he'll be manifesting those qualities in him. So that's why, so all the forms are coming from one. That's the one absolute truth. That's the point he's mentioning. Yogi is advised to meditate upon the form that are approved by devotees. So that's why we should meditate on the forms which are described in the Shastra. You should not speculate on the forms. And you cannot imagine some form and you should not say this is the form of the Lord. Which are there in the Shastra. Srutivata Nitam. That means whatever the Shruti is saying, those forms only you should meditate. That's the point. Yasri Niketamalibi Parisevyamanam Bhutya Swaya Kutila Kuntala Vrunda Justam Meenadvayashrayamadikshipadabjanetram Dhyayen Manomayamatindrita Ullasadbru. Now we are going to meditate on which flame? So that means curly hair, lotus-like eyes, eyebrows, These are the object of the meditation for the yogi now. How the eyes, eyebrows, those are all ullasat bhru, dhyayen manomaya atandrita, and also his menadvayashraya madikshiptabja netram. How his eyes are looking? Abja netram. Yeah, lotus like eyes. And how his eyebrows? Huh? Eyebrows how? Huh? Ullasat bhru. Fish kaha gaya? Where is the fish in the translation? There is no fish in translation. Fish ko kaha? Huh? Where is it? Translation. Who is adorned with the curly hair and decorated by lotus-like eyes and dancing eyebrows. A lotus surrounded by the swarming bees and a pair of swimming fishes would be put to shame by its elegance. That means these eyes, you're so happy, these seniors. That kind of teacher you all need. Only 1.5 hours. 1 hour starting and 1.5 hours. Next year you will also get like that if you stay. So next, these that means these eyes are so beautiful. Those elegance, that means the beauty of that eyes are defeating the even the. So a lotus is surrounded by swarming bees and a pair of swarming fishes would be put to shame. Even these fishes also fish like eyes, so beautiful actually. Or beauty of fishes and beauty of the lotuses, they are so put into down actually, and Lord's eyes are so beautiful actually. That's the point. Yes, am I correct? If you want, you people, I will ask them to sit here also. Yes, see. Adikshiptam. Okay. Okay, next. So one important statement here is dhyayan manomayam. So manomayam is not imagination. Impersonalists think that the yogi can imagine any form. Prabhupada is once again condemning the thought of, that means manomayam means here not the mental speculation. It's not imagination. So that means Lord is appearing. It's not Lord is not imagined in the heart. Devotees never imagine a form of the Lord. They are not satisfied by something imagined. The Lord has different eternal forms. Each devotee is like a particular form and thus engages himself in the service of the Lord by worship. So Lord is appearing actually. It's not imagined by anyone. He is there now actually. What is the need of imagining? In the heart of everyone, Lord is there. Is there any need of imagining? No need. That's the point. Tasyavalokam कृपयाति घोरा तापत्रयोपशमनाय निसृष्टमक्ष्णोः स्निग्धस्मितानुगुणितं विपुलप्रसादम् ध्याये चिरं विपुलभावनया गुहायाम्. Translation: the yogi should contemplate with full devotion the compassionate glances frequently cast by the Lord's eyes, for they soothe the most fearful threshold agonies of his devotees. His glances, accompanied by loving smile, are full of abundant grace. So what are the limbs described here? Those glances. Okay. Tasyavalokam, Lord's glances. Next. Smile. Lord's smile and glances. So these glances, smile, all comes under what actually? Face only, but I asked two questions now. So limbs means you should write face and also glances and everything. Remaining objects means only ornaments. Maybe 3-4 are there. That's all. Those. Okay. So Lord's glances, how they are? Compassionate. Those glances are krupayadi ghora tapatrayopashamanaya. These glances are so diminishing the soothing the most fearful threefold agonies. Tapatraya means threefold agonies. That means adi dhaivika, adi bhautika, adhyatmika. All these kleshas are soothed by these glances, Lord's glances. They are Nishrushtam. And also his smile, how it is smiling, how he is smiling. Vipula prasadam jayet vipula bhavanaya. Snigdha smitanu gunit. Snigdha means loving. So okay. So we are seeing here various हासं हरे रवनथा किल लोक तीव्रा शोकाश्रुसागर विशोषण मत्युदारम् सम्मोहनाय रचितं निजमाययास्य भ्रूमण्डलं मुनिकृते मकरध्वजस्य. A yogi should similarly meditate on the most benevolent smile of the Lord Sri Hari, a smile which, for all those who bow to him, drives away the ocean of tears caused by the intense grief. The yogi should also meditate on the Lord's arched eyebrows, which are manifested by his internal potency in order to charm the sex god for the good of sages. So now what is the object for the meditation here? Smile, smile. And how that smile? That smile is going to dry up the tears of ocean due to intense grief. Tears of ocean, it is immediately drying up. Wow, what a smile. Just once, if you see that smile, everything is finished. Finish. One smile is finished. And also, Sammohanaya rachitam nijamaya mayayasya bhru mandalam munikrute makaradvajasya. Makaradvajasya, sex god. The yogi should also meditate on the Lord's arch eyebrows, which are manifested by his internal potency in order to charm the sex god for the good of the sages. That means Lord's eyebrows are so beautiful, even they bewilder the sex god. That's Kamadev. Such a beauty is there. It is stated in this verse that the charming eyebrows of the Lord are so fascinating that they cause one to forget the charms of the sense attraction. We all have the attraction for the material figures because till now we didn't see the Lord's beautiful form. Once if you see the Lord's beautiful form, finish. Then like Narada Muni, your heart is completely stolen by the Lord's beautiful. So smile. Then your heart is not with you. It is with him then. Then you will be going behind him because you lost your heart. Na? So once losing the heart means you will be losing everything and you will be running behind all the time. Then you will forget to run behind the material figures, material Maya. So that should happen. Till the time, so contamination is always anarthas. Will be torturing us. Huh? Yeah. Yes. So that's a beautiful smile of the Lord. And his eyebrows are so beautiful. So the conditioned souls are shackled to material existence because they are captivated by the charms of sense gratification, especially sex life. The sex god is called Makaradvaja. The charming brows of the Supreme Personality of Godhead protect the sages and devotees from being charmed by the material lust and sex attraction. So that's why Lord's eyebrows is going to remove your attraction towards the sex life. So attraction to sex life is removed by meditating on dash. Write the bit. Write it first. Right? On time. Attraction for the sex life, it will be destroyed by meditating on dash, eyebrows of the Lord. Okay. This next, the tears of ocean due to material misery is dried up by meditating on dash. Another, the tears of tears of ocean, ocean of tears. Oh, sorry, ocean of tears. So ocean of tears, so can be dried up by meditating on dash. Ocean of tears due to material miseries is dried up because of meditating on dash, is dried up by meditating on dash. Smile, smile. Okay. Huh? Huh? Fall in the eyes. Acha. Tapatraya. Tapatraya means this material threefold agony. So threefold agony is going by the, here also actually threefold agony. The threefold agony of devotees is soothed by meditating on dash Lord's compassionate glances. What? Compassionate glances. Anukampita krupaya tighorata patrayanasha. Okay? The threefold agonies of devotees, agony, agonies, agony, are soothed by meditating on dash. Okay? What is the meaning of Manomayam? So Manomayam is a carving of the form of the Lord within the mind. Carving. It's not imagination. It is carving. Prabhupada is writing, Manomayam is carving the form of the Lord within the mind. This is included as one of the 8 different carvings of the form of the Lord. It is not imagination. This is Manomaya means not imagination, but carving. Like you see, you are making deity. This is also carving. You can draw on the board. This is also Lord. And is there any difference between the deity's picture and also a Lord directly? No difference. Similarly, Manomayam is also a carving. It's not imagination. Okay, this is important point. That's why I made a bit. What is the meaning of Manomayam? Okay, next. Oh, we are losing time. Chalo. थोड़ा और ज्यादा स्लो हो रहा हूं मैं 10 हैं और कर देंगे एवं 34 ना 33 ध्यानायनं प्रहसितं बहुलाधरोष्ठ भासारुणायित तनुर्द्विज कुंद पंक्ति ध्याये स्वदेह कुहरे वस्तस्य विष्णोर भक्त्यार्द्रयार्पितमना न पृथग्दृक्षेत. Translation: with devotion steepened in love of affection, the yogi should meditate within the core of his heart upon the laughter of the Lord Vishnu. The laughter of Vishnu is also captivating that it can be easily meditated upon. When the Supreme Lord is laughing, one can see his small teeth, which resemble jasmine buds, rendered rosy by the splendor of his lips. Once devoting his mind to this, the yogi should no longer desire to see anything else. Wow. Now, what is the object of meditation here? Lord's laugh, laughter, laughter, prahasitam. So when he smiles, when he smile means without showing any teeth, and laughing bit. This is little bit teeth will be shown. So how his teeth? They are like small jasmine buds. And how they are looking, how they are appearing. And Lord's lips are like red roses. In between red roses, these jasmine buds. So beautiful. And this is the object of the meditation. Lord's lips looks like dash, red roses. And Lord's teeth is looking like dash. Birds, jasmine birds. ध्याये स्वदेह कुहरे वसत्यस्य विष्णोर bhaktyardrayarpita mana. So with full devotion, with a devotional heart, one should see. Didrikshet means should see. He should desire to see. Napratak, nothing else. Then this much he is getting, then he will not get any attraction for the material beauty. Finish your material beauty. Next. Evam haro bhagavati pratilabdha bhavo bhaktya dravadrudaya utphulaka pramodat outkantya bhashpakalaya muhurardhamana tachapi chitta-badisham shanakairviyunkte. Translation: by following this course, the yogi gradually developed pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. In the course of his progress in devotional service, the hairs on his body stand erect through excessive joy, and he constantly bathed in the stream of tears occasioned by intense love. Gradually, even the mind, which he used as a means to attract the Lord, as one attracts to fish to a hook, withdraws from material activity. So by this, what is going to happen? So like this, he is meditating. Then he will be getting the Bhaktya Dravad Drudaya Utphulaka Pramoda. His heart is melted, and by this, and his hair is standing on its end. Outkantya Bhashpa, and also getting the tears. Yogis are getting the tears. So this is some portion of the bhakti is there. They are not completely pure devotees, but pure devotees means they are yoga, bhakti means yogis. That's why they will be getting the liberation. So by seeing this form, there is a transformation in the heart. But in the case of the devotees, seva is the important. But here, meditation, in the case of yogis, meditating on the form of the Lord, that's all. And so here it is clearly mentioned that the meditation, which is an action of the mind, is not the perfect stage of samadhi or absorption. In the beginning, the mind is employed in attracting the form of the So Supreme Personality of Godhead, but in the higher stages, there is no question of using the mind. A devotee becomes accustomed to serving the Supreme Lord by purification of his senses. In other words, the yoga principles of meditation are required as long as one is not situated in the pure devotional service. The mind is used to purify the senses, but when senses are purified by meditation, there is no need to sit in a particular place and try to meditate upon the form of the Lord. One becomes so habituated that he automatically engages in the personal service of the Lord. When the mind forcibly is engaged upon the form of the Lord, this is called Nirbhija Yoga or lifeless yoga. For the yogi doesn't automatically engage in the personal service of the Lord. Yogis is what? Always trying to see the form of the Lord. That's all. Always meditating and going into samadhi. But Prabhupada, what he is saying, so once the mind is purified, Lord's form is seen, then one should be engaged in the personal service. But yogis, they are not interested in the personal service of the Lord. That is a problem. So that's why they will be getting only mukti, liberation. Nirbhija yoga. So in the personal service of the Lord, but when he is constantly thinking of the Lord, that is called Sabhija yoga or living yoga. One has to promote it to the platform of living yoga. Write the difference between Nirbhija yoga and Sabhija yoga. Based upon purport. SB 3.28.34. Okay. 2 marks. Okay. One should engage in the service of the Lord 24 hours a day, as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. The stage of Premanjana Churita can be attained by developing complete love. When one's love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead in devotion service is fully developed, one always sees the Lord even without artificially meditating on his form. So that's why devotees are not interested in seeing the form of the Lord, but yogis are interested in the only seeing the form of the Lord. Muktashrayam yarhi nirvishayam viraktam nirvanamruchyati manas sahasa yatharchi atmanamatra purusho vyavadhanamekam Anvikshate pratinivritta guna pravaha.
When the mind is thus completely freed from all material contamination and detached from material objectives, it is just like the flame of a lamp. At that time, the mind is actually dovetailed with that of the Supreme Lord and is experienced as one with Him because it is freed from the interactive flow of the material qualities.
So now the mind is completely purified actually. Manaha nirvishayam bhavati. Tada muktashrayam sasyat dhyaya sambandham vina tasya dhyataryavasthana asambhavat nacha purvavad vyavaharikaha शब्दादि विषय स्यात् यतः तत्र विरक्तं परमानंद अनुभवेन न च paramananda rupameva punarapi vishayi kurya. So what is happening to the mind? When the mind is thus completely freed from all material contamination and detached from the material objects, it is just like the flame of a lamp. Flame of a lamp. At that time, the mind is actually devoted with that of Supreme Lord and is experienced as one with him, because it is freed from the interactive flow of material qualities. So in the mind, then there will be no vrittis due to modes, and so that's why आत्मानमत अव्या अवधानमेको अन्वीक्षते पतिनिवृत्त गुण प्रवाहः. So then for that mind, so when that mind is purified and in that stage, for that these material sound, so rupa, rasa, gandha, sparsha, shabda, these are all objects of the senses. Those cannot become objects for the mind. So yatha tatra viraktam, that means because he's completely, then for that mind, so material objects cannot be the object. Material things cannot be object for that. न च परमानंद रूपमेव पुनरपि विषयी कुर्यात्. So शनकैः विषययुक्तम् इत्यत्र शनैः पदेन पुनरपि ततः वियोजनीयत्वाद् अतः निर्वाणं लयं रुच्यति. So प्राप्नोति. यदा अर्चि दीपकलिका तैलवृत्तिभ्यां वियुक्ता निर्वाति इत्यर्थः. अत्र अस्यां दशायां पुरुषः जीवः मनोलये सति लिङ्गरूपावरणभङ्गात् अव्यवधानं शुद्धम् आत्मानं प्रत्यग् आत्मानम् एकम् अन्वीक्षते. ततश्च न संसारम् इत्याह प्रतिनिवृत्तो गुणप्रवाहो देहाद्युपाधिर्यस्य सः. So here, so nirvana mruchyati mana sahasa yatharchihi. So what is happening when we are meditating on the Lord? Mind is purified and it is getting the pure. That means Lord's form and bliss. And next, what is happening when then in that state, mind is not having the, so for it, material sounds and other things cannot be the object, because it is completely, that means viraktam, it is completely detached from the material things. But in the case of here, what he is saying, another case he is explaining, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So विरक्तम न च परमानंद रूप में पुनरपि विषय कुर्यात् शनकैः वियुक्त इत्यत्र शनैः पदेन पुनरपि. So Shanakaihi viyunkti, in the previous sloka it is said that some yogis, they are not able to make once again their mind. That means their mind is not completely absorbed continuously. There can be a break. So that is the point actually. Sanakaihi viyunktam ityatra shanaihi padena punarapi tataha viyojaniyatvad ataha nirvanam layam ruchati prapnoti. So that means in the another, that means some other yogis, so in their case, mind is get disturbed and they are not able to meditate on that. Destruction is there actually. Example is given like the, so lamp actually, archihi. So when this, if you remove the oil from the lamp, then, so then what will happen? This, yeah. So wigs will be burnt out. Layam. So atma namatra purusho avyavadhanam ekam anvikshate prati nivrutta guna pravaha. How the lingadeha is burnt is explained here actually. Lingadeha, how it is. This mind is fixed on the form of the Lord initially. Okay. Mind is fixed on the form of the Lord initially. So limb by limb he is seeing and this mind is purified. Then it is completely getting the joy. It is explained in the previous slokas. Mind is relishing the joy, spiritual joy. Then after that, what will be happening? This mind is not having the, that means completely it is removed from the material objects. That means for this mind, material objects are not material things, you can write. Material things are not objects now. That means because now it is fully relishing the spiritual joy. So then material things are not objects for that mind. Objects for that mind. Then what will happen? Material objects are not objects for that mind. That means material sound and form and so and so. Those are not objects. So then what happens to that mind? It is explained like, this is lamp, this is a wig, and this is oil. This is wig. Now this wig is in the oil, so that's why there is fire, some fire. If you remove this oil, what will happen? This wig is burnt and then finish. Here, in the case of this oil is material things, and wig is what? Mind. So now what is happening? So mind is completely getting the bliss of the spiritual thing, and this mind is not having the material things as objects. Then what will happen? Like how if oil is not there, wig is burnt out. Similarly, this material mind is finished. Is layam gaj. That means linga deha bhanga. Linga deha bhanga is Linga deham is finished. In the yoga process, it happens like this. Okay. Then Jivatma is directly seeing. That means then Jivatma directly sees. Now Jivatma is seeing through the mind. This is Lord. For initially it was seeing this is Jivatma. Through the mind it is seeing that means in the yoga system, mind is used as a tool actually. So he's purifying that mind through initially he's trying to purify this mind through the yama, niyama, pranayam and pratyahara and so on. So then after purifying, that mind is engaged. So to see the form, then this mind is getting the highest bliss. Then after that, for this mind, there are no material things are as objects. Then it is out. Then he is directly seeing the form of the Lord. Mind is out. Direct. Jivatma is seeing. Yes, Lord is giving this a special eyes to the Jivatma. This material mind is finished. Okay. That means he is getting the spiritual senses. So then his subtle body is finished. Mind is finished, his subtle body is finished. Then he will be no longer having any birth and death. Okay, this is the thing. So pye, another 10 minutes. So pye taya charamaya manaso nivritya tasmin mahimnyavasita sukha dukkha bahye हेतुत्वमप्यसति कर्तरि दुःखयोर्यत् स्वात्मन्विधत्त उपलब्ध परात्मकाष्ठः. Okay, any service?
Situated in the highest transcendental stage, the mind ceases from all material reaction and becomes situated in its own glory, transcendental to all material conceptions of happiness and distress. At that time, the yogi realizes the truth of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He discovers that pleasure and pain, as well as their interactions, which he attributed to his own self, are actually due to the false ego, which is a product of ignorance.
Yeah. The situated in the highest transcendental state, the mind ceases from all material reactions and becomes situated in its own glory. Mind is ceases. Manasaha nivritya. completely it is ceased. So then he is completely free from the material sukha and dukkha. So swatman vidatta upalabdha paratma kashtaha. So he discovered that pleasure and pain as well as their interactions, which he attributed to his own self, are actually due to false ego, the product of it. हेतुत्वमपि असति कर्तरि दुःखयोः यत् स्वात्मन् विदत्त उपलब्ध परमात्मा काष्ठ. सुषुप्ति दशायाम इत्याह न च असौ उपाधि लयः सुषुप्ति दशायाम इत्याह. सोपि स च पुरुषः जीवः मनसः निवृत्त्या हेतुना तस्मिन् महिम्नि यः स्वीयः महिमा पूर्वं मनसः बलाद् अपहृत आसीत् तस्मिन् महिम्नि मनोनाशात् प्राप्ते ज्ञानानन्दस्वरूपे अवसितः अवसानं निष्ठामाप्तः मनसः निवृत्त्या कीदृशचर्मया अविद्यया रहित रहितयन्ति रहितया इति सुषुप्ताद् विशेषः. So now what is happening? So here in the Sushupti case, what we understood, Sushupti case, Jivatma is there and also is accompanied with the what? In the Sushupti, Jivatma plus Sushupti, Jivatma plus Avidya. Jivatma plus Avidya is there. And here also now subtle body is finished. Jivatma is there, subtle body is finished. In the Sushupti stage also, subtle body will not be there. Yes, there is subtle body, Laya is there. And Jivatma alone is there. What is the difference between Jivatma in Sushupti and Jivatma in this yogi stage? Who perfected their life? So whose Linga Deham is burned? What is the difference between these two? That is the difference actually. So there is no avidya in this case. Sacha Purushaha Jivah Manasa Nivritya Hetuna Tasmin Mahmi Hasviya Mahima Puru Manasa Balad Apahruta Asit Tasmin Mahimni Mano Nashat Prapte Gnanan Avasitaha Avasanam Nishtamapta Manas. So here in this case, his mind is also destroyed, but he is not. He avidya asti natu idanim tatra hetu etaya yoga abhyasa krutaya ityardaha. In this case, yogi's case, avidya is finished. That's the point actually you should remember. So in the case of the Sushupti and Pralaya, Jivatma is alone without subtle body, but avidya is there. But here now, what is happening? So in the case of the Sushupti, in this yoga practice, avidya is finished. That is, Jivatma is alone and it is in the Parama Gnanananda Rupa. Now Jivatma attained its Swarupa. In Pralaya, so are the Sushupti, Jivatma plus avidya will be there. And now Jivatma is without avidya, then that's why it is situated in the Swarupa, its own Swarupa. Means it is regaining back. It means his original position. I am not body, I am this. whatever Sarupa is revealed to that. That is the difference between these two. This is because of what? Jivatma is avidya is destroyed because of yoga abhyasa. This is the use of the yoga. Tasmin mahimni kidrishe sukha dukkha bahirbhute tasya sarupatah eva sukha dukkha bahyatva jivatma sukha dukkha bahyo bhavet. Then, so this jivatma is alone, and in this liberated stage, jivatma is alone. This is liberated stage, and this is sushupti. So here jivatma is alone, and it is completely now different from material pain and pleasure. Bahyaha, pain and pleasure. Completely different from the material pain and pleasure. Nanu sukha dukkhayoho atmadharmattvameva drishtam ataha tataha bahirbhutatvam katam atmanah ityaha asati avidya krute kartari. So then actually here sukha dukkhayoho atmadharmattvameva drishtam ataha tataha. So generally we say sukham and dukkham is always coming to the atma. We are seeing previously. What we are saying, after this avidya is finished in the liberated stage, jivatma is alone, and it is completely now different from the material pain, and it is away, or different means away from the material pain and pleasure. So we are saying this here, but Purvapakshi is putting a question to you. What is that question? Purvapakshi is saying that, hey, Sukham and Dukkham are the qualities of Atma. How can you say, you are saying now Jivatma is, so liberated Jivatma is free from the Sukham and Dukkham. So he is asking, Purvapakshi is asking question. Now we are saying, hey, Sukha Dukkham is not properties of the Atma, but these are the properties of the Atma which is with the false ego. Jivatma which entered into false ego, that is only is having the Sukham and Dukkham. So, but the Jivatma in his own Swarupa, it is completely free from the Sukham and Dukkham. So, write the question now. So, explain how Linga Deha is destroyed in the case of yogis. You should write in the previous slokas. That means once the pleasure, spiritual pleasure is attained, mind is not, no more is becoming the, mind is no more actually is having the objects of material things as objects. So that's why then that mind is getting the laya, like how the wig is without oil, so it will be burned by that fire, same fire. So same way here mind is finished. That is the thing you should write. And here next question what we are seeing. So here mind is, that means the liberated person's mind, how it is different from the, so mind, destruction of the mind is there in the case of the Sushupti also. In the case of the Laya means destruction is there in the case of Sushupti also, in the case of the liberated soul. So, but what is the difference between those two? What is the difference between, right? What is the difference between Sushupti and liberation? What is the meaning? Then what is it? In the liberated stage, Jivatma is with ignorance but without mind. There is a destruction of the mind. In the Sushupti, Jivatma is with the avidya but without mind. Without mind every time. Mind is destruction is there in the Sushupti and this also. Only with ignorance. That is the point. Okay. Sushupti case also, mind is collapsed. Na? is free from that. Jivatma is completely free from the mind. No mind is there. If there is a disconnected, na, Jivatma is. So that's why there is a laya. In that state, susupti state, Jivatmas, for that Jivatma, mind is destroyed. You can say it as destroyed only. Okay. And in the liberated stage, in that case also, mind is destroyed, but there is no avidya. One mark, 2 marks. Yes. Yeah. So liberation. Actually, you see, here the point is avidya krite kartari ahankare asati sukha dukkha. Actually, sukha dukkham is the property of the atma. So how can you say in the liberated stage sukha dukkham are the liberation, are the properties of the atma? So how can you, one may ask, one may say that sukha dukkham are the properties of the atma. So how can a liberated jivatma is free from this sukha dukkham? Okay. I'll not answer question, I make it. One may say, which ones? No, I'm making question. I didn't say any answer. No, I'm write the question, you will get everything. One may say that sukha dukkham are the properties of the atma. So how a liberated soul can be free from the sukha dukkham? One may say that sukha dukkham are the properties of the atma. So how a liberated soul can be free from those? Then what is the answer? Justify this. Or justify. Na? So refute this. 2 marks. So how to refute? Sukha dukkham are the properties of the atma, not directly properties of the atma, but those are the properties. So when that jivatma is engrossed in false ego, which is made by the avidya, or what is it? That's maya. So Bhairanga Shakti. So but now in the stage of the liberation, this false ego is destroyed, avidya is also destroyed. So that's why this jivatma is, for this jivatma, material sukha dukkham cannot be the objectives or properties. Okay, we'll see remaining things tomorrow.